Sensational answer. All right, Jordan, you made it through the first two sections. That's easy money. But now Max is going to take you through rapid fire, where we'll ask you a few fun questions, and then we'll wrap up the pod. Take it away, Max.
Let's get into it.
Let's roll. Okay. CPMs, overrated or underrated?
I would say underrated. I hear a lot of people they don't care about their CPM pricing, but CPMs can tell you a lot. I recently was buying an offer over. I know this is like a rapid fire thing. I'm sorry for going into it.
No. This is the point.
Okay,
Yeah, go into it.
Cool.
Beautiful.
So yeah, definitely underrated. A lot of people don't care about their CPMs or don't think about them intrinsically. Like there's way more value to CPMs than what meets the eye. So if you do pay attention to it, you can kind of have an understanding of what's going on. Like for example, images versus video. Typically images are going to give you a lower CPM, videos are going to give you a higher CPM, but if you see the inverse of that, then you can learn something from it. Or if you're having really high CPMs in your account, you have to dig down and understand why, because that's kind of like Facebook's charging you on an impression basis. So like that's really where a lot of your cost is baked into. So if you can get lower CPMs but still have like premium traffic, or you just engage with those higher CPMs, like you have a really engagement. There's just so much I want to explain here. It's like I'm getting all over the place, but basically
we can have you. Like,
you can learn a lot from.
We can have you contribute. You know, like this is good. This is phenomenal stuff.
There's just so much to learn from CPMs. Like it can dictate your funnel movement. It can tell you like, okay, maybe you're not using the right creative, or you're targeting audiences that are just really expensive and you need to find another way to bring down those CPMs so the rest of your funnel movement is cheaper. Or just like it gives you great valuable insights. Like there's ways basically here are like the 4 levers. I've kind of explained this a few times to people, but here are the things I noticed that kind of impact your CPM pricing: the creative you're using, the URLs you're using, the Facebook page you're using, and the ad accounts you're using. And there may be other variables that control that, but those 4 kind of have like big lifts in controlling the price of your CPM. So if you're seeing like $100+ CPMs, maybe you need to change your ad account, change your URL. If you're seeing like CPMs are like 20, 30, 40% higher on average, then it's like maybe look at your creative and switch that up. How can you apply changes to your creative to bring the CPM pricing down so the rest of your funnel movement isn't so pricey, so expensive, especially if you don't have high engaging ads. Like I had $150 CPMs in an account on average over 100 over like 14, 15 grand spent. I was like, how can I combat this? Like my ads are extremely engaging, 6-7% CTR, all unique outbound CTR is like above a 3%. Great metrics. Like it's hard to come by stuff like that in modern day Facebook. So I'm like looking at the CPM pricing, like I can't win here. Even though I'm still meeting my CPA KPI, like I was still meeting the purchase price that I needed to hit in the account, I was still just facing extremely high CPM, so I needed a way to bring those down. I changed the ad account, changed the URL, I brought it down by 18%, more manageable, but it's hard to scale into an offer with $150 CPMs on images and videos. And like I even changed Facebook pages and it didn't really do anything. So I'm like, well, the next big thing I need to do is change my ad account and URL.
I can understand the other through the factors that you mentioned as to what would impact the CPM, but why does the Facebook page impact the CPM from your perspective?
That one I don't have like a direct. And Robert, you might be able to like explain like a deeper answer on that.
Well, I don't know if this for sure. This is just my thesis. So your page has like, for lack of a better term, like an authority ranking. Right. And so if you get your hand slapped or you do these things, it goes on your record. And so Facebook cares outside of like, unless you're on the hot track where you just spend a bunch of money, you can do what you want. Like if you have to play by the real rules, Facebook seriously cares about the content that goes in the feed, because if Facebook loses engagement, they lose ad inventory. So the less engagement there are less ads they can serve, because there's a certain ad load that people will tolerate, right? Like everything can't be an ad. And so Facebook modulates that, but there's a ceiling. And so the only way for them to really make more money, they can't move the CPMs because it's an auction. So the only way they make more money is have more inventory. And so the more people that log on, I can show more ads. So that's my thesis, is that all those things kind of go into some sort of like score of your page. Yep. So I worked with a really big brand, big brand, like a personality type celebrity. And we had huge issues because they kept getting in Facebook jail for either doing sketchy stuff on Messenger, stuff like that, where it wasn't directly linked to like ads proper. but the account is you run ads from a page, right? And so that's my thesis, anyways. Jesus, got into the craziest. This is like a second segment of rapid fire, but it's so good. We need to get a whale mail on your CPMs because I love that, man. That's incredible. But sorry, we'll come back and land the plane as they say, right, Max? So CPMs underrated. Boom.